Hi dear students, good day to all of you. I hope you are in a healthy and happy state. Okay, so this week we are going to look into chapter 7. Okay, we have already done up to six chapters. This week we will look at chapter 7, and then there are two more chapters for us to complete, chapter 8 and chapter 9. Thereafter we are done. Okay, I think there's left about like 3 more weeks for you to complete the semester. Okay, so without wasting the time, let's go into this week's chapter, which is negotiating to win-win solution. Okay, so before that, let's just recap a little bit. Last week we looked at the sales presentation, right or not? Okay, we looked at communicating the sales message, where we looked at how you can demonstrate your sales presentation, what are the characteristics that you should have, and then we looked at sales presentation strategies, 4 strategies, and then we looked at then we looked at setting goals and objective. Okay, and then we looked at the sales presentation, how can you begin your sales presentation, and the guidelines for active listening. So these are the things that we looked at last week. Okay, and then lastly we looked at verbal and non-verbal communication. So this week we are going to look into negotiating for win-win solution, which means, okay, negotiating means you are actually dealing with your customer, and your customers dealing with you in terms of the price, in terms of the benefits of the product, in terms of what are the extra things that you can do for your customers. And when you negotiate with your customer or vice versa, it should actually give a win-win solution. Win-win solution here means, win-win solution means where both parties, they will have their benefits. That is win-win solution, where two parties, both of the parties, the buyer and the seller, both of these parties, they will have their own benefits when it comes to win-win solution. Okay, so that's what we are going to totally look into this week, which is negotiating for win-win solution, which means when you want to negotiate, or when your customer wants to negotiate with you, or when you want to negotiate with your customers expectation, how can you do it as it can actually lead you to a win-win solution, which means you can benefit from there, you will have your benefits from there, and your customers also at the same time will have their benefits there. Okay, so this week, what exactly we are going to look into this week? First of all, we are expected to look into the process of negotiating win-win solution, which means, first of all, we are going to look at the common customer concerns. Okay, when they want to purchase a product, okay, what are the customers common concerns? So we are going to look about, like, I think about five concerns. Okay, and then the next we will look into the basic points in negotiating win-win solution. So which are the points that you need to look into, or you need to give more attention to? So there are about 6 points we're going to look into. And lastly, you are expected to know the common objections most salespeople encounter when they deal with customers, which is specific negotiation strategies. Okay, so for that we are going to look into about 9 strategies, and once we are done with that, we are done with this week's topic. Yay! Okay, so let's get started with the first part, which is common customer concerns. So as I mentioned earlier, okay, when you want to negotiate with your customer, you're selling a product, you are a salesperson. So throughout this topic, assume yourself to be a salesperson who's selling a kind of product or service. Then only you will have deeper understanding about this topic. Okay, so when you want to negotiate, first of all, you have to actually try to understand what kind of concerns your customers might have towards your product or service. Okay, first of all, this first common concern of customer would be, do I need your product? Okay, so as a salesperson, we have already know our mouth is so painful, with lots of information. We already give so much of information, but at the end of the day, what would be the customer's concern? Do I really need this product? You see, we as a customer also, we would have gone through this situation many times in our life. Okay, so after the salesperson explained from A to Z, yada 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 yada, at the end of the day, you're like, do I really need this product? Okay, so when customers come across this kind of doubts in them, 50-50%, so what you need to do as a salesperson, you have to configure your product. Okay, you have to configure how your product is totally different of your competitors' product. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to have thorough knowledge of your product. You see, all the knowledge about your product, about the services, about what can your company do should be in your fingertips, so that you can actually share to the customer, you can clearly define to the customer your product's features, the advantages the customer would have if they gain your product, and the benefits that the customer will enjoy with your company and also with the product if they purchase your product. So you have to actually clear these doubts in customer, so that they will have this strong anchor in them saying, okay, this is why I really need this product. Okay, so that would be that, do I really need the product? So when it comes to do I really need the product, you have to, of course, the need of the product, and then you have to how can you tell the need of your product? You have to clearly define your product, and then you have to configure your product, how your product is different than your competitors. Then you are done. Okay, next, so when it comes to second concern of customer, when they talk to you about products, okay, do I trust your company? Okay, do I trust your company? You see, as a customer, a lot of us, we have this issue, especially if the company is a new in the market. Okay, when there are new in the market, we always have this trust issue. Even if it's an old company, sometimes when they produce new products, when they introduce new products in the market, we always have the trust issue. Okay, do I really trust your company? Okay, so if such situation, as a salesperson, if you come across such situation, if the customers are not aware of your company, they may simply be concerned about the ability of you to deliver to them. Okay, they will be thinking whether you can really deliver what they need or not, whether your product or your service can meet their expectation or not. Okay, so if you are a big company, they might be fear that they might not be valued, which means, okay, when you are a small company, of course you will look into getting your customers feedback. Okay, you want to keep your customer, because you know that customer is very much valuable for you to develop your business. But when it comes to big company, sometimes big companies, okay, what customers would fear is about, oh, this company might have like thousands and millions of customers around the world. Do they really value me? Will they really value me? Okay, so that would be customers' concern towards the trust of your company. So they might not have the trust that you as a company will value them as customer. Okay, so in such situation, customer needs to know that you will do what you promise, you will deliver what you promise, you will walk your talk. So you have to actually stay focused on your product. In order to do that, you have to stay focused on your product, okay, and company, and do not confront negatively about other suppliers. It means, do not talk anything negative about your customer just because you want to put your company at the top of the shelf. Okay, just because you want to gain the trust of your customer, you should not put your competitor down. Okay, you should not confront anything negatively about your competitor, because immediately this will actually bring the customer's trust towards your company down. So you should not do that. Okay, so do I trust your company is very much important for you to gain the customer. Yes, one thing, for you to sustain the customer in your company as well. Okay, so the third concern of a customer would be, do I really know you? Which means customers may be concerned about the ability of a new inexperienced salesperson. Okay, so let's say if you are a new salesperson in the company, customers might have like, do I really know you? Okay, so when such situation arises, it is important for you as a salesperson to be well prepared, okay, and demonstrate your knowledge of the customer's value proposition. Value proposition means your competitive advantage. So you have to let your customers know, okay, how you can deliver the value to your customer. You have to let customers know they are your competitive advantage. So that is how you can get the customers to trust you and to know about you. So once the customer knows about you, see, some salesperson, they will build this relationship with their customers. Why they are doing that? Because when the customer knows you, they tend to look for you again and tend to look for your product again. Okay, so that is the focal point here. The fourth common customer concern would be, I need more time to consider your product, which is very common. Most of us would have done this. And as a salesperson, if you have actually worked as a salesperson before, most of the time you would have came across this. Okay, no from customer, or customer will ask you more time to consider. Okay, so customers have customers have a legitimate concern about making purchase decision too quickly, which means sometimes they, due to this trust issue, sometimes due to that they don't know you, they might don't want to consider your product immediately. Okay, so they want to take some time, maybe do research about your company, do research about your product. Okay, then only they want to go for your product. But in such situation, as a salesperson, okay, if the purchases involve several parts of the company, you see, like some items customers need to purchase in several parts. Okay, let's say if it's a big item, okay, so there will be most likely to be where commitment might involve, maybe a long-term commitment might involve in the purchase process. So in such situation, customers will ask more time, or sometimes they may wish to delay the final decision. So customers will have uncertainty about something new. Okay, or if you fail to prove the value proposition, how important your customer is, if you fail to prove to your customer, if you fail to demonstrate to your customer that you are well knowledge about the product and you will be able to help them to solve the problem, then customer will take more time to consider your product. Unless if you really give thorough information to the customer, you go extra mile, you help the customer, you walk your talk, then customers will automatically gain the trust, and maybe their time to consider to purchase your product can take some time, but maybe it is just limited, where customers already have enough or clear definition about the product. They already know how the product can help them, and they already gain the trust that yes, you can really help. In case if they purchase the product and if they need any more configuration, you can definitely help them. So in such case, customers may not take much time to consider to purchase your product. Okay, so that is another concern of customer. And the fifth common concern of customer when it comes to purchasing a product, is this your best price? You see, is this your best price? Is this your best price? Yeah, okay. So is this your best price? Normally, price would be the main point or main focus when it comes to purchasing a product. So price would be the primary focus because it involves money. Anything that involves cash, involves money, it will be the focal point of any customers. So customers buy a bundle of benefits. Okay, when they buy your product, they buy a bundle of benefits which may include the product itself, may include the financial terms, may include the support after sales service like warranty, configuration, okay, installation. So you have to actually give the trust to the customer that your product can add a value to them. Okay, when they purchase your product, you should clearly define the product's features, advantages, the benefits, okay, before the price. Of course, you cannot say the price first, because when you say the price and after that if you're going to explain about the benefits, the advantages, sometimes it doesn't work. So what you need to do, you need to give customers a lots of information about what exactly your product can do. It's like giving them a lot of positive things about your product, a lot of bundle things about your product, then you talk about the price. So when you pick up this strategy, what the customer will tend to think, oh, this product has so much of advantages, it can help me to solve XYZ problem. Okay, then when they hear the price, they can make the comparison. Okay, this much of advantages I'm getting and this will be the price, so I feel this is equal with the price justice the advantages that I'm going to get from purchasing the product. So this is how you are going to tackle when the customer has this concern, is this your best price? So even if your price is slightly higher, customer will still purchase your product if you give them the clear definition. Okay, when the customer get to see the entire package benefits, that will how the benefits will transform their perspective on the value, they will automatically not be so sensitive towards the price. That's why if you see some products, even if the price is so high, customers will still go for it because of the benefits that it gives to the customer. Okay, so what can you do in such situation? Of course, you can embrace the price as an opportunity to highlight the value of the product, the benefits and the customer service. And a very good example that I can give to you, again, Apple. Okay, you see Apple's product, especially iPhone, the price is increasing. Like every edition, the price is like increasing thoroughly. So but still we are having customers who queue up even before the launching or during the launching day. Why? Because even the price is high, customer knows, okay, that the product can give them superior value, the product can give them high benefits. So that's how, when your customers are so concerned about the product, that's how you can counter them back. Okay, so these are the 5 concerns of customers when it comes to negotiating about your product. So you customers first of all will think, do I really need your product? Then you have to gain the customer's trust, you have to give them the trust, and then you have to let the customer know that yes, you can go extra mile to help them. And when customer wants more time to consider, how you can shorten that? By giving so much of information, by giving clear definition about your product. This will reduce the customer's consideration time. And when customers concerned about the price, of course you have to highlight the package, the entire package of benefits. Okay, so those are the 5 concerns of customers that you should know. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, basic points in negotiating win-win solution. Okay, so basic point in negotiating win-win solution, there are about like 5 basic points that we're going to look at. The first one, okay, here sorry, not 5, 6 basic points that we're going to look at. The first one is plan and prepare ahead of time. Okay, you see, first of all, what is the basic point in negotiating win-win solution? It means like you can actually anticipate when you can anticipate what your customers will ask you, and when you are prepared with all these points, it will be easier for you to tackle the customer and handle the situation professionally. Okay, so first of all, plan and prepare ahead of time. See, when you do this, customer is willing to consider your product. Why? Because knowledge of your customer is important to a successful presentation, which means you have to actually go through your customer's profile first. So when you want to approach a customer, first of all, you have to know a little bit background about the customer, like the income level, their interest, basic interest. Why you need to do that? Because then only you can suggest to your customer the best product that will fit their expectation. Okay, so knowledge of your customer, anticipate of customers' objections, and carefully develop sales presentation. So when you already have the knowledge about your customer, you can carefully handle the situation. When objections come from your customer, you will know, okay, you're already prepared about your customer's background, then you will know how to tackle back this customer. Okay, let's look at a situation like you're getting less educated customer and you're getting a highly educated customer. You see, there are two different ways to handle these customers. It doesn't mean that less educated customers, they don't know anything. No, never ever assume that. But the difference would be less educated customer, maybe the way that they research about the product before they purchase might be slightly lower, or maybe not much. Maybe they just try to research the basic needs of the product or basic features of the product. But when you sell the product to a highly educated or professionals, especially, they might have a lot of knowledge about the product. They already done deep down research about the product. So there are two situations. Maybe a less educated customer, the way you handle this customer could be a little bit easier, okay, where you can give more information to them and make themselves clear. But when you get a customer who done thorough research about your product, and maybe sometimes your product might have some shortfalls, some weakness, so if they already purchase all this, when they already done research on all this, it's a bit tough for you to counter this kind of customers, because they might have a lot of doubts and a lot of questions that they want to throw at you. So in such situation, you have to know your customer's background first a little bit, then you know the way to handle the customer. Let's say you're getting a new customer to your business. Handling a new customer would be different than handling an existing customer, because an existing customer already have more information about your company, about what your company can do, the ability of your company. So in such situation, they might not ask you many questions because they have already answered for all that. But if you look at a new customer might have more questions and doubts to be cleared. So they might have more, their tendency to reject your product or service would be more there. Okay, so that's why you have to actually know the background of your customer, so that you will know how to handle them professionally. Okay, that would be the first. Plan and prepare ahead of time. This is very much important in any situation. Okay, next basic point in negotiating win-win solution. The next is anticipating enhanced negotiation. Okay, anticipation enhances negotiation. Anticipation means assumption. Okay, so assumptions could enhance negotiation. How? You see, by anticipating what could your customers ask you, you can be ready with your response already. Okay, and one benefit of anticipating customer objection is that you can actually solve a problem before the customer has a chance to mention it. So let's say if your customer say that, oh, previously I heard that your product has some shortfalls, installation there's some errors in the installation, or there's some error in the system. So you know customers going to ask you about this, so immediately you can actually, in such situation when you can anticipate what your customers will ask you, you can immediately solve that problem before your customers could even mention about it. So this will get your customers think that, oh, okay, this person already knew this is the issue with their company and they already found the solution. Okay, so when the salesperson offers choices, okay, when you already know what your customer going to ask and you already have the choices with you, the customer doesn't feel compelled to say no. Okay, because you are giving options to your customer, you're not locking the customer with only one choice. Instead, you are giving options for other choices. Let's say if your customer is saying, oh, I heard this particular model phone has some battery issue, so what you can do, you already know, okay, this customer is going to ask this. When the particular customer inquire about this one model, you know already this customer going to ask you, definitely this customer have high chances to ask you about the battery failure, for example. So immediately you already ready with your choices. Maybe you can give your customer other choices to choose. Maybe the phone that you want to offer might have more or less feature of the phone that the customer is looking for, but because of the battery problem, you can actually give another option phone which has same features. Okay, so that's why anticipation enhances negotiation, so it's easier for you to negotiate with your customer. Okay, got it, guys? Okay, let's say if you don't understand any of this part, where if you feel that you need more explanation, more examples, do not hesitate to look for me. Okay, kindly do not keep quiet when you don't know anything. Please open your mouth and ask. If not, you will be lost. Okay, don't be shy to ask me. Okay, you can always WhatsApp me to ask if you don't want to call. Okay, that's more convenient. Okay, let's look at the third points in negotiating win-win solutions. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So walk your talk, which means say what you mean and mean what you say. Very easy. Just be polite, just be honest with your answer. Okay, because when you're honest with your answer, this will actually go a long way in building trust in your customer and reduces your customer's doubt on your product, reduces the customer's anxiety on your product. Okay, and when customer come to realize that you have their best interest, you want to help them, okay, their overall concern about the company and about you as a salesperson will be positive. So this is where customers will tend to gain their trust, because you mean what you say what you mean and you mean what you say. So customer will know definitely you will deliver what is expected there. Okay, so the next point is negativity destroys negotiation. So when you negotiate with your customer, when you talk to your customer, never ever bring in any negativity. Okay, so conflicts on variety of issues pertaining selling is a natural part of a process, you see. So when your customers tend to be sarcastic to you, when you realize that the customer is being rude to you, yeah, this is common. This is common in sales environment. So what you should do, you should not allow negativity to control you. You should not control the situation with anger, because when you show your anger, of course customer will say you are at the fault. Okay, so controlling your anger as a salesperson is a critical element to a successful negotiation. Okay, so once this happen, it is difficult to get negotiation back on track. Okay, remember, once you already show your tantrum to your customer, once you already show that bitter experience to your customer, then it is very hard to bring it back on track. So let's say if you feel that your customer, maybe your customer is angry or being rude to you due to the experience or due to the previous experience with your product or service. So when you get such customers, step back from the process. And how can you step back from the anger? I'm not asking you to hang the call or leave the customer. Step back from the process means step back from the anger. Okay, step back from the anger and counter the customer by giving them what are the good things that you all are doing to help the customer, or what are the better customer service that you all are doing. Maybe you can salvage the customer. You can actually salvage the customer. Okay, let's say if they purchase any products, okay, you can salvage the customer. Okay, so that is another way that you can destroy that you can avoid negativity. So by doing that, you can stay connected to your customer. Okay, so when your customer is angry, when your customer having bad experience, what can you do? You can actually ask questions to your customer to get the customers involved. So when you ask questions, customers tend to have this thoughts that you are taking care, or you are actually mindful about their situation. Okay, so this is how you can handle it, by not being negative. Being negative means by not getting angry on your customer, or by not shouting back at your customer. Okay, so that is negativity destroys negotiation. So once you do that, it destroys your negotiation process. Okay, the fifth point or basic points in negotiating win-win solution will be listen and validate customer consent. You see, this is very, very important. In the last chapter, in the previous chapter, chapter 6, we looked at guidelines for active listening. So you can implement that here. You have to listen to your customer. You see, being a salesperson, you have to really be a good listener. Again, you have to listen to your customer. When your customer is angry, when your customer is not satisfied, when your customer is disputing, do not interrupt your customer to defend about your product or service. Listen first to your customer. Validate your customer's concern, like, okay, I understand what is your situation, I understand what you are going through. Okay, then you give them what are the best solution that you can offer them. Okay, so here, that's why customers simply want the salesperson to listen and respond to their concerns. That's why you have to validate their concern by telling, yes, I understand the situation that you are going through. Let me suggest you few good solutions that can help you to overcome the situation. So by doing this, your customers will feel that yes, you validate their concern, you're listening to them. Okay, so even though the salesperson, as a salesperson, you already addressed your objection, customers will still feel that their voice need to be heard more. So in such situation, you have to acknowledge that once again, acknowledge the concern once again, and focus on your customer. When you say you understand, when you validate your customer's concern by saying, yes, I understand your situation, don't simply say. Customers tend to ask you back, what do you understand? Okay, so in such situation, you have to make sure you understand what your customer is really saying. Okay, and then you respond to their concern. Do not listen to attack back your customer. Listen to understand and to help them to find the solution. Got it, guys? So that is listen and validate customer concern. So if you want to know back the guidelines of being an active listener, go back to your chapter 6, the last part of your chapter 6. Okay, and the last basic point in negotiating win-win solution is always value the value proposition. Guys, again, value proposition means your competitive advantage. What is unique about your product that customers might not find it in your competitor's product? Okay, so in such situation, always value the value proposition. So the most effective tool for negotiating with your customer is a well developed competitive advantage. So you have to carefully explain the benefits of your product, how your company can help them. Okay, so by doing this, you can go a long way towards managing your customers' expectation and their objections. So when you do that, when you link benefits to overall value that the customer will gain when they purchase your product or when they stay with your company, customers will have less worry about the price, and they will give more focus on how you address their needs. So this is very much important. So the value proposition here means you have to know thoroughly about what exactly the difference that your product can do to your customer. Okay, so this may take different forms. Okay, not only the benefit, of course the benefit is the primary point. Apart from that, the supporting point could be like customer service, a better customer service, enhanced product quality, maybe an improved buyer seller communication. So all this would be the value proposition that you can always highlight to your customer, which can add value to your product and your company. Okay guys, so these are the basic points in negotiating win-win solutions. 6 points altogether for you to know. Got it? Okay, so far we have already done with the concerns of customer, common concerns of customer, and then we have already done with basic points in negotiating win-win solution. Guys, you have to understand all the 6. Okay, and let's move on to the last but very interesting part in this topic, which is handling objection with specific negotiation strategies. So here we're going to look into 9 strategies, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain to you a little bit, and I'm going to give you examples for each of this. So by having the examples, I believe you will have better understanding. So let's, without wasting the time, let's move on to the first one. Okay,